Hello? 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 Let me pull this up on my phone. Let's see here. Anything wrong with my audio? Seems good to me. Alright. Well, for today's video, I'm just going to be reading some shit. And you're going to listen to me. Where the fuck do I start? I guess I'll read Ayn Rand first. But I'm not reading the shit that she wrote at the beginning. I'm starting at chapter 1. Alright. Part 1, Peter Keating. Howard Rourke laughed. He stood naked at the edge of a cliff, already off to a homoerotic start. That's good. The lake lay far between him. A frozen explosion of granite burst in flight to the sky over motionless water. The water seemed immovable, the stone flowing. The stone had the stillness of one brief moment in battle when thrust meets thrust, and the currents are held in a pause more dynamic than motion. The stone glowed wet with sun rays. The lake below was only a thin steel ring that cut the rocks in half. The rocks went on into the depth unchanged. They began and ended in the sky, so that the world seemed suspended. Oh shit, that just turned off. Let me turn this off here. There we go. His body leaned back against the sky. It was a body of long straight lines and angles, each curve broken into planes. He stood rigid, his hands hanging at his sides, palms out. He felt his shoulder blades drawn tight together, the curve of his neck and the weight of the blood in his hands. He felt the wind behind him in the hollow of his spine. The wind waved his hair against the sky. His hair was neither blonde nor red, but the exact color of ripe orange rind. He laughed at the thing which had happened to him that morning and at the things which now lay ahead. He knew that the days ahead would be difficult. There were questions to be faced and a plan of action to be prepared. He knew that he should think about it. He knew also that he would not think, because everything was clear to him already, because the plan had been set long ago, and because he wanted to laugh. He tried to consider it, but he forgot. He was looking at the granite. He did not laugh as his eyes stopped in awareness of the earth around him. His face was like a law of nature, a thing one could not question, alter, or implore. It had high cheekbones over gaunt hollow cheeks, gray eyes, cold and steady, a contemptuous mouth shut tight, the mouth of an executioner or a saint. He looked at the granite to be cut. He thought and made into walls. He looked at a tree to be split and made into rafters. He looked at a streak of rust on the stone and thought of iron ore under the ground to be melted and to emerge as girders against the sky. These rocks, he thought, are here for me, waiting for the drill, the dynamite, and my voice, waiting to be split, ripped, pounded, reborn, waiting for the shape my hands will give them. Then he shook his head because he remembered that morning and that there were many things to be done. He stepped to the edge, raised his arms, and dived down into the sky below. He cut straight across the lake to the shore ahead. He reached the rocks where he had left his clothes. He looked regretfully about him. For 3 years, ever since he had lived in Stanton, he had come here for his only relaxation, to swim, to rest, to think, to be alone and alive, whenever he could find 1 hour to spare, which had not been often. In his new freedom, the first thing he had wanted to do was to come here, because he knew that he was coming for the last time. That morning, he had been expelled from the architectural school of Stanton Institute of Technology. He pulled his clothes on, old denim trousers, sandals, a shirt with short sleeves, and most of its buttons missing. He swung down a narrow trail among the boulders to a path running through a green slope to the road below. He walked swiftly with a loose, lazy expertness of motion. He walked down the long road in the sun. Far ahead, Stanton lay sprawled on the coast of Massachusetts, a little town as a setting for the gem of its existence, the great institute rising on a hill beyond. The township of Stanton began with a dump. A gray mound of refuse rose in the grass. It smoked faintly, tin cans glittered in the sun. The road led past the first houses to a church. The church was a Gothic monument of shingles painted pigeon blue. It had stout wooden buttresses supporting nothing. It had stained glass windows with heavy traceries of imitation stone. It opened the way into long streets edged by tight exhibitionist lawns. Behind the lawns stood wooden piles tortured out of all shape, twisted into gables, turrets, dormers, bulging with porches crushed under huge sloping roofs, with curtains floated at the windows. A garbage can stood at a side door, flowing over an old Pekingese sat upon a cushion on a doorstep, its mouth drooling. A line of diapers fluttered in the wind between the columns of a porch. People turned to look at Howard Rourke as he passed. Some remained staring at him with sudden resentment. They could give no reason for it. It was an instinct his presence awakened in most people. Howard Rourke saw no one. For him, the streets were empty. He could have walked there naked without concern. He crossed the heart of Stanton, a broad green edged by shop windows. The windows displayed new placards announcing, "Welcome to the class of 22. Good luck, class of 22. The class of 22 of the Stanton Institute of Technology was holding its commencement exercises that afternoon. Rourke swung into a side street where at the end of a long row, on a knoll over a green ravine, stood the house of Mrs. Keating. He had boarded at that house for 3 years. Mrs. Keating was out on the porch. She was feeding a couple of canaries in a cage suspended over the railing. Her pudgy little hand stopped in midair when she saw him. She watched him with curiosity. She tried to pull her mouth into a proper expression of sympathy. She succeeded only in betraying that the process was an effort. He was crossing the porch without noticing her. She stopped him. "Mr. Rourke." "Yes." "Mr. Rourke, I'm so sorry about..." She hesitated demurely. "About what happened this morning." "What?" he asked. "You're being expelled from the Institute. I can't tell you how sorry I am. I only want you to know that I feel for you." He stood looking at her. She knew that he did not see her. No, she thought it was not that exactly. He always looked straight at people, and his damnable eyes never missed a thing. It was only that he made people feel as if they did not exist. He just stood looking. He would not answer. "But what I say," she continued, "is that if one offers in this world, it's on account of error. Of course, you'll have to give up the architect profession now, won't you? But then a young man can always earn a decent living clerking or selling something." He turned to go. "Oh, Mr. Rourke," she called. "Yes?" "The dean phoned for you while you were out." For once she expected some emotion from him, and the emotion would be the equivalent of seeing him broken. She did not know what it was about him that had always made her want to see him broken. "Yes?" he asked. "The dean," she repeated uncertainly, trying to recapture her effect. "The dean himself, through his secretary." "Well?" "She said to tell you that the dean wanted to see you immediately the moment you got back." "Thank you." "What do you suppose he can want now?" "I don't know." He had said, "I don't know." She had heard distinctly, "I don't give a damn." She stared at him incredulously. "By the way," she said, "Petey is graduating today." She said it without apparent relevance. "Today?" "Oh, yes." "It's a great day for me when I think of how I skimped and slaved to put my boy through school. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not one to complain. Petey's a brilliant boy. She stood drawn up. Her stout little body was corseted too tightly under the starched folds of her cotton dress that it seemed to squeeze the fat out of her wrists and ankles. But of course, she went on rapidly with the eagerness of her favorite subject, I'm not one to boast. Some mothers are lucky, and others just aren't. We're all in our rightful place. You just watch Petey from now on. I'm not one to want my boy to kill himself with work, and I thank the Lord for any small success that comes his way. But if that boy isn't the greatest architect of this USA, his mother will want to know the reason why. He moved to go. But what am I doing gabbing with you like that? She said brightly. You've got to hurry and change and run along. The dean's waiting for you. She stood, looking after him through the screen door, watching his gaunt figure move across the rigid neatness of her parlor. He always made her uncomfortable in the house, with the vague feeling of apprehension, as if she were waiting to see him swing out suddenly and smash her coffee tables, her Chinese vases, her framed photographs. He had never shown any inclination to do so. She kept expecting it without knowing why. Rourke went up the stairs to his room. It was a large, bare room made luminous by the clean glow of whitewash. Mrs. Keating had never had the feeling that Rourke really lived there. He had not added a single object to the bare necessities of furniture which she had provided. No pictures, no pennants, no cheering, human touch. He had brought nothing to the room but his clothes and his drawings. Sorry, my connection went out, but I reset now. Well, then I guess I'll call you. Did I join the call? Am I in?
You sure are.
All right. All right, let me continue where I was at here. He had brought nothing. Oh.
Oh, good.
No, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, with my phone, that whenever the battery gets low, the internet connection just likes to go off the fucking cliff.
Mm-hmm. He had brought nothing to the room but his clothes and his drawings. There were few clothes and too many drawings. They were stacked high in one corner. Sometimes she thought that the drawings lived there, not the man. Rourke walked now to these drawings. They were the first things to be packed. He lifted one of them. What the heck? It's going to go off if I don't do this.
The drawings lived there, not the man.
Dang it, I don't want to hear the audio for it.
Oh yeah, I guess I can mute myself unless I talk.
No, I just mean I don't want to hear the audio on my video while I'm trying to play it, because it will turn off automatically if I keep it paused.
Yeah, just turn the video audio down. That's what I usually do. By the way, my connection will probably get spotty sometimes because I have to step away from the phone because it's on a charger.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Shut up, cat. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't make me kick your ass.
Up, yeah, bitch.
Don't make me kick your kitty cat ass. You ever watch Postal 2? Damn. Shut your cat ass up. Shut the fuck up. You will shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Get out of here, rat. Oh, you get out of here, huh? Dang it. Gotta feed this fat bastard. That bastard. Eat that, you little shit. You little bastard.
Uncle Dave a lot more prominent than he is in the game.
What the fuck? All right.
No,
Rourke went up the stairs to his room. It was a large, bare room made luminous by the clean glow of whitewash. Mrs. Keating had never had the feeling that Rourke really lived there. He had not added a single object to the bare necessities of furniture which she had provided. No pictures, no pennants, no cheering human touch. He had brought nothing to the room but his drawings. They were stacked high in one corner. Sometimes she thought that the drawings lived there, not the man. Rourke walked now to these drawings. They were the first things to be packed. He lifted one of them, then the next, then another. He stood looking at the broad sheets. They were sketches of buildings such as had never stood on the face of the earth. They were as the first houses built by the first man born, who had never heard of other buildings before him. There was nothing to be said of them except that each structure was inevitably what it had to be. It was not as if the draftsman had sat over them, pondering laboriously, piecing together doors, windows, and columns, as his whim dictated and as the books prescribed. It was as if the buildings had sprung from the earth and from some living force, complete, unalterably right. The hand that made the sharp pencil lines still had much to learn, but now a line seemed superfluous. Not a needed plane was missing. The structures were austere, austere, and simple, until one looked at them and realized what work, what complexity of method, what tension of thought had achieved the simplicity. No laws had dictated a single detail. The buildings were not classical, they were not Gothic, they were not Renaissance, they were only Howard Rourke. He stopped looking at a sketch. It was one that had never satisfied him. He had designed it as an exercise he had given himself. Apart from his schoolwork, he did that often when he found some particular site and stopped before it to think of what building it should bear. He had spent nights staring at this sketch, wondering what he had missed. Glancing at it now, unprepared, he saw the mistake he had made. He flung the sketch down on the table. He bent over it. He slashed lines straight through his neat drawing. He stopped once in a while and stood looking at it, his fingerprints pressed on the paper as if his hands held the building. His hands had long fingers, hard veins, prominent joints, and wrist bones. An hour later, he heard a knock at his door. "Come in," he snapped, without stopping. "Mr. Rourke," gasped Mrs. Keating. "Oh, Mr. Rourke," gasped Mrs. Keating, staring at him from the threshold. "What on earth are you doing?" He turned and looked at her, trying to remember who she was. How about the dean? How about the dean?" she moaned. "The dean that's waiting for you?" "Oh," said Rourke. "Oh, yes, I forgot." "You forgot?" "Yes." There was a note of wonder in his voice, astonished by her astonishment. "Well, all I can say," she... Astonished by her... What?
I just think that's a funny line.
Yeah.
Astonished by her astonishment.
Yeah. "Well, all I can say," she choked, "is that it serves you right. It just serves you right." And with the commencement beginning at 4:30, how do you expect him to have time to see you? "I'll go at once, Mrs. Keating." It was not her...
Like, this is the chick that he fucks?
No, this is just the Mrs. Keating. This is the mother of that one fucking... of Peter Keating.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
She's just like a cunt.
Oh, okay.
It was not her curiosity alone that prompted her to action. It was a secret fear that the sentence of the board might be revoked. He went to the bathroom at the end of the hall. She watched him washing his hands, throwing his loose straight hair back into a semblance of order. He came out again. He was on his way to the stairs before she realized that he was leaving. Mr. Rourke, she gasped, pointing at his clothes. You're not going like this. Why not? But it's your dean. Not anymore, Mrs. Keating. She thought aghast that he said that, as if he were actually happy. The Stanton Institute of Technology stood on a hill, its crenellated walls raised as a crown over the city stretched below. It looked like a medieval fortress with a Gothic cathedral grafted to its belly. The fortress was eminently suited to its purpose, with stout brick walls, a few slits wide enough for sentries, ramparts behind which defending archers could hide, and corner turrets from which boiling oil could be poured upon the attacker, should such an emergency arise in an institute of learning. I like that. The cathedral rose over it in a lace splendor, a fragile defense against two great enemies, light and air. The dean's office looked like a chapel, a pool of dreamy twilight, fed by one tall window of stained glass. The twilight flowed in through the garments of stiff saints, their arms contorted at the elbows. A red spot of light and a purple one rested respectively upon two genuine gargoyles squatting at the corners of the fireplace that had never been used. A green spot stood in the center of a picture of the Parthenon, suspended over the fireplace. When Rourke entered the office, the outlines of the dean's figure swam dimly behind his desk, which was carved like a confessional. He was a short, plumpish gentleman whose spreading flesh was held in check by an indomitable dignity. Ah, yes, Rourke, he smiled. Do sit down, please, Rourke. Do sit down, please. Rourke sat down. The dream entwined his fingers. Shut the fuck up, cat! Shut the fuck up! Shut your whore mouth!
Yeah, that sounds like Howard Rourke, all right.
Shut your whore mouth! Shut the fuck up!
Fuck you! Don't fucking stare at me!
Had to let the rat out.
I don't know if you heard me, but I'm like, yep, that sure sounds like Howard Rourke.
Yeah. Isn't there? There's supposed to be like a rape scene in this where the woman likes it or something.
Yes, there is.
Hell yeah, Baystein ran. Yeah. I'm leaving my video right now to make coffee. Yeah. There's a slug. What the hell? Oh my god. What the hell is this slug on my carpet? Doofy, you're bringing slugs in. You bringing slugs in, Doofy. What are you, stupid? What are you, a Christian? Fuck you. I love salting slugs. Fucking little bastards. Do you have the time? Listen to me whine. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about the Republicans? Listen to me! We're losing our democracy! It'd be funny if Green Day, like before their like song about MAGA, they're like, we're losing our democracy! Listen, Republicans, listen! One thing I will give that lady though in that video is she has like the chops for death metal. Wake up! I'm terrified! Boom! Oh, yeah, they warned us about people like you! But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. I'm a nut. I'll have sex with you for a peanut. This seems like a reasonable transaction. I'll suck your cock for a peanut at gunpoint.
What the hell are Jewish noises?
Why, yes, ma'am. I will give you money for unsolicited sex.
Sounds like solicited to me then.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
You're still away from your stream, aren't you?
No, I'm coming back now.
Okay.
This has all been audible to the stream.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, the camera is on? Oh,
Camera's on the whole time? Yeah, I don't give a shit about making this like a coherent stream. I'm gonna do whatever I want in between reading.
Yeah. You fucking sociopath.
You know what? Maybe we're wrong about Captain Hardluck, because maybe he's just, taking the mighty cucumber's advice and not admitting to past wrongdoings.
You're right. How could we not realize he was just observing cucumberism?
Yeah. I mean, he's done cucumberisms before. So maybe he's just on a level of cucumber that we can't understand.
Right. Because you are Puritan, Moose
That's definitely gotta be something Cucumber Klansman says.
Yeah. That I fucking hate Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day sucks.
Ironically, that's my favorite Green Day song, though.
Damn it, I don't remember where I was.
Nice, good job, Corbin.
Let me see here.
The Dean's office looked like a chapel, a pool of dreamy twilight, fed by one tall window of stained glass. The twilight followed through the garments of a stiff saints, their arms contorted at the elbows. A red spot of light and a purple one rested respectively upon two genuine gargoyles squatting on the corners of a fireplace. That has never been used.
Fucking voice.
A gray smudge instead of a picture of a Parthenon just put it over the fireplace. Before I got in the office, the outlines of the dean's figure swam dimly. His desk was carved like a confessional. He was a short, plumpish gentleman whose sweating flesh was held in check by an indomitable dignity.
You're fucking reading like that, right?
Yeah.
Is that just how you're gonna do Mrs. Whatever the fuck her name is?
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being. I'm just reading the whole thing like this. No, I was just reading it up. I'm just trying to read up to where I was at. If I'm rereading stuff, I'm just gonna do retard voices. Ah, yes, Rourke, he smiled. Do sit down, please. Rourke sat down. The dean entwined his fingers on his stomach and waited for the plea he expected. No plea came. The dean cleared his throat. It will be unnecessary for me. This is the part that I really think is really based about Howard Rourke. Like, when I got to this part, I was like, man, Rourke, there was something about Rourke that I thought, like, embodied what a man should be.
Okay.
It will be unnecessary for me to express my regret at the unfortunate event of this morning, he began, since I take it for granted that you have always known my sincere interest in your welfare. Quite unnecessary, said Rourke. The dean looked at him dubiously, but continued. Needless to say, I did not vote against you. I abstained entirely, but you may be glad to know that you had quite a determined little group of defenders at the meeting. Small but determined, your professor of structural engineering acted quite the crusader on your behalf. So did your professor of mathematics. Unfortunately, those who felt it their duty to vote for your expulsion quite outnumbered the others. Professor Peter Kin, your critic of design, made an issue of the matter. He went so far as to threaten us with his resignation unless you were expelled. You must realize that you have given Professor Peter Kin great provocation. I do, said Rourke. That, you see, was the trouble. I am speaking of your attitude towards the subject of architectural design. You have never given it the attention it deserves, and yet you have been excellent in all the engineering sciences. Of course, no one denies the importance of structural engineering to a future architect, but why go to extremes? Why neglect what may be termed the artistic and inspirational side of your profession and concentrate on all those dry, technical, mathematical subjects? You intended to become an architect, not a civil engineer. Isn't this superfluous? Rourke asked. It's past. There's no point in discussing my choice of subjects now. I am endeavoring to be helpful, Rourke. You must be fair about this. You cannot say that you were not given many warnings before this happened. I was. The dean moved in his chair. Rourke made him uncomfortable. Rourke's eyes were fixed on him politely. The dean thought, there's nothing wrong with the way he's looking at me. In fact, it's quite correct. Most properly attentive. Only it's as if I were not here. Every problem you were given, the dean went on, every project you had to design, what did you do with it? Every one of them done in that, well, I cannot call it a style, in that incredible manners of yours. It is contrary to every principle we have tried to teach you, contrary to all established precedents of traditions of art. You may think you are what is called a modernist, but it isn't even that. It is sheer insanity if you don't mind. I don't mind. When you were given projects that left the choice of style up to you, and you turned in one of your wild stunts, well, frankly, your teachers passed you because they did not know what to make of it. But when you were given an exercise in the historical styles, a Tudor chapel or a French opera house to design, and you turned in something that looked like a lot of boxes piled together without rhyme or reason, would you say it was an answer to an assignment or plain insubordination? It was insubordination, said Rourke. We wanted to give you a chance in view of your brilliant record in all other subjects, but when you turn in this, the dean slammed his fist down on his sheet spread before him, this as a Renaissance villa for your final project of the year? Really, my boy, it was too much. The sheet, my boy. The sheet bore a drawing, a house of glass and concrete. In the corner there was a sharp angular signature, Howard Rourke. How do you expect us to pass you after this? I don't. You left us no choice in the matter. Naturally, you would feel bitterness toward us at this moment, but I feel nothing of the kind, said Rourke quietly. I owe you an apology. I don't usually let things happen to me. I made a mistake this time. I shouldn't have waited for you to throw me out. I should have left long ago. Now, don't get discouraged. This is not the right attitude to take, particularly in view of what I'm going to tell you. The dean smiled and leaned forward confidently, enjoying the overture to a good deed. Here is the real purpose of our interview. I was anxious to let you know as soon as possible. I did not wish to leave you disheartened. Oh, I did personally take a chance with the president's temper when I mentioned this to him. But mind you, he did not commit himself. But here is how things stand. Now that you realize how serious it is, if you take a year off to rest, to think it over, shall we say, to grow up, there might be a chance of our taking you back. Mind you, I cannot compromise anything. This is strictly I cannot promise anything. This is strictly unofficial. It would be most unusual, but in view of the circumstances and of your brilliant record, there might be a very good chance. Rourke smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was not a grateful one. It was a simple, easy smile, and it was amused. I don't think you understand me, said Rourke. What made you suppose that I want to come back? Eh? I won't be back. I have nothing further to learn here. I don't understand you, said the dean stiffly. Is there any point in explaining? It's of no interest to you any longer. You will kindly explain yourself. If you wish. I want to be an architect, not an archaeologist. I see no purpose in doing Renaissance villas. Why learn to design them when I'll never build them? My dear boy, the great style of the Renaissance is far from dead. Houses of that style are being erected every day. They are, and they will be, but not by me. Come now, this is childish. I came here to learn about... He did say erected. He did say come. Ah!
Like how totally that is with.
I have made this insanely tonally inconsistent. How much of my coffee is done? Yo, nigga! Nigga shit.
Do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Oh yeah. A lot of steam coming out of this thing. Damn. Bam, son! These bitches want some. Hey, Freddy, can I, no, bitch, you fucking done. Hello, bitch, what you bone?
Ooh, fuck the girls' titties. Ooh, fuck the girls' titties. Ooh, fuck the girls' titties. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. Jiggy, jiggy, jiggy. How do you want to know? Why she sucking on my dog and go 12-inch deep? Is the pussy can drive a motherfucking jeep? Is the pussy know I'm talking about? Bunch of inform you about your girl's pussy.
Is that Limp Bizkit or some shit?
What?
I said, is that like Limp Bizkit or some shit?
No, that's Pink Guy.
Oh, okay.
She's so nice, and she's so nice, and she's so nice. I abuse her, but she comes back every time. It goes to show that none of these hoes are worth a dime. Pink Guy's music was actually bass.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Pink Guy is actually good music, whereas Joji was fucking shit.
Yeah. He went from making bass Sigma music to making incel music. Not incel, like I would say like simp music, but like with like the
Yeah, Sim.
yeah.
You know that fucking Giga Chat song, right? Can You Feel My Heart?
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of the lines in it are actually Bible quotes, but I still think it sounds like emo French.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the Bible quotes that people really like are cringe.
Yeah.
Where they're like, God is love. Love is
Well,
not.
like, they fucking love to throw out John 3:16.
What's that one?
For God so loved the world that he sent his only...
Yeah. I think South Park's actually right though that like Christians focus more on the death than they do the actual teachings of Christ and like his character.
Yeah. Well, that's why Mormons don't use crosses.
Yeah.
Because Mormons don't want to focus on the death, so they don't actually, like, they view the cross as like, they're like, we don't want to just like display the murder weapon.
Makes me think of that freaking Bill Hicks joke where he says, "You think that what Christ wants to see when he comes back is a cross?" I honestly do think that Bill Hicks stand-up is the funniest stand-up I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. I want you to find a fucking soul.
Yeah.
I'm drunk and I have a cunt, so that gives me carte blanche.
I have a... Wait, what's the thing he says where he's like, I have a pussy, that means I can be a fucking cunt!
Well, like the one I remember is I have a cunt, so that gives me carte blanche.
Oh, yeah. Ouch, my knee! I was an adventurer like you.
You know what's funny? So, Spencer always tried to argue with me that was about marriage, that it wasn't literally an arrow in the knee, that it literally...
That's what people, yeah, a lot of stupid people think that. Like, my dad thinks that, too.
But there are two reasons that's not true. One, Bethesda confirmed that that's literally not true. And two, in Elder Scrolls, you don't get on your knees to propose. It's you wear the necklace of Mara.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Also, it's like every guard's been like every guard is like uses that same expression.
Right. it's an arrow in the knee. It's literal. And I think anyone who says otherwise is retarded. And like, Skyrim is like the game that makes the least sense. Skyrim is get married in, so you know how.
Who do you think you are? You must suck a cop for a car.
This is really a high-class stream.
Yeah. No, I love how inconsistent it is because I just wanted it to be a thing. Like I'm using the books as like a conversation sparker, if anything.
Right?
Don't you look at me!
Well, like I said, Corbin, with this one, literally nobody could argue that it's not fair use.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking transformative as hell.
I mean, sometimes I'll just randomly read it like I'm retarded. I think I'll just have fun with it. We'll see. This is one of the few books I actually get really immersed in when I read it, though.
Yeah. That's why it's funny that you're reading it like this.
Yeah. Like, it's already been, like, 46 minutes, this stream. And I'm like, what, how many pages in?
I don't know. I haven't actually seen how
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's right. It's not, because it started at 15, now it's at 22, so that's not that many pages. It's like...
That's what, 7 pages?
Yeah. Now let me see where I was at here. You will kindly explain yourself. If you wish. I want to be an architect, not an archaeologist. I see no purpose in doing Renaissance villas. Why learn to design them when I'll never build them? My dear boy, the great style of the Renaissance is far from dead. Houses of that style are being erected every day. They are, and they will be, but not by me. Come now, this is childish. Come, from the window to the wall.
Come, erect, come.
I think it's fun. Like, in the beginning, though, there was a bunch of homoerotic language. Like, there's a lot of there actually is, like, a bunch of homoerotic shit in this book.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, it's written by fucking Ayn Rand. It's literally, I feel like she's, like, gets her rocks off multiple times writing this.
Oh, no, she absolutely does.
Like, this is literally, like, in her autobiography of her fucking, like, a bunch of rich billionaires. Because that's basically her life.
Yeah, because, like, every time she writes a self-insert character, she gets fucked by the main character.
Yeah. I fucking love it, because this is, like, Twilight but based.
Right.
I came here to learn about building. When I was given a project, its only value to me was to learn to solve it, as I would solve a real one in the future. I did them the way I'll build them. I've learned all I could learn here, in the structural sciences of which...
I've learned a lot, and I've learned that I've learned a lot, and I learned that I have hairy legs.
I think that what I love about Howard Rourke, though, in this book is that, like, he knows who he is already, even though he's like he's like not that much older than I am. He's like a year or two older than me, and like and like he's like already knows everything about himself. He never makes a wrong decision. Like, he's like supposed to be the representative of the perfect male character.
Because Ayn Rand believes that art needed to emphasize the ideal, not just like reality.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's cool enough. But to me, like, I would do that in a way by even though I would have them lose at the end, I'd make it the point that the point was to do the good thing despite the consequences. That would be more my take.
But yeah, that's why we like Watchmen.
Mm-hmm. And I actually do like that Watchmen makes Rorschach a flawed protagonist. Like, if he was exactly like Howard Rourke, it wouldn't work.
Right.
And I definitely consider Rorschach the protagonist.
Oh, he absolutely is.
Ugh. This coffee is nasty. This is the shittiest coffee I ever drank. But I'm gonna drink all of it.
Drink it up, boy.
I came here to learn about building. When I was given a project, it was only valued to me was a line of solvent as I would solve a real one in the future. I think that's the way I'll build them. I learned all I can learn here in the structural sciences of which you don't approve. 1 more year of drawing Italian postcards would give me nothing.
Honestly, that voice sounds like a combination of Chris Chan and then that one lady that yells, "I'm terrified, listen to me, Republicans."
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like you combined her with Chris Chan to get this weird, like, amalgam.
An hour ago, the dean had wished that this interview would proceed.
I was not expecting Pepsi coffee. Funny.
I'll just read it normally since I'm caught up here. As calmly as possible, now he wished that Rourke would display some emotion. It seemed unnatural for him to be so quietly natural in the circumstances. Do you mean to tell me that you're thinking seriously of building that way when and if you are an architect? Yes. My dear fellow, who will let you? That's not the point. The point is, who will stop me? Look, here. I know, that's a great line. That's like one of his best lines. Look here, this is serious. I am sorry that I haven't had a... Look here, look, listen here, this is serious. I'm sorry that I haven't had a long, earnest talk with you much earlier. I know. Don't interrupt me. You've seen a modernistic building or two, and it gave you ideas. But do you realize what a passing fancy that... Do you have any idea what a passing fancy that... God damn it. Where was I? But do you realize what a passing fancy that whole so-called modern movement is? You must learn to understand, and it has been proved by all authorities that everything beautiful in architecture has already been done. There is a treasure mine in every style of the past we can only choose from the great masters. Who are we to improve upon them? We can only attempt respectfully to repeat. Why? Asked Howard Rourke. No, thought the dean, no. He hasn't said anything else. It's a perfectly innocent word. He's not threatening me. But it's self-evident, said the dean. I love how much of a pompous asshole the dean is, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Look, said Rourke evenly and pointed at the window. Can you see the campus and the town? Do you see how many men are walking and living down there? Well, I don't give a damn what any or all of them think about architecture, or about anything else for that matter. Why should I consider that what their grandfathers thought of it? That is our sacred tradition. Why? For heaven's sake, can't you stop being so naive about it? But I don't understand. Why do you want me to think that this is great architecture? He pointed to the picture of the Parthenon. That, said the dean, is the Parthenon. So it is. I haven't the time to waste on silly questions. All right then, Rourke got up. He took a long ruler from the desk. He walked to the picture. Shall I tell you what's rotten about it? It's the Parthenon, said the dean. Yes, God damn it, it's the Parthenon. The ruler struck the glass over the picture. Look, said Rourke, the famous flutings on the famous columns. What are they there for? To hide the joints in wood.
What the hell are they there for?
What the hell are the Jewish noises? What are they there for? To hide the joints in wood when columns were made of wood? Wood? Only these aren't there. Marble. Aren't there when columns were made of wood? Only these aren't there marble. These aren't. They are marble. The triglyphs, what are they? Wood. Wooden beams. I've got wood. Wood in my pants. the way they held, the way they had to be laid when people began to build wooden shacks. Your Greeks took marble and they made copies of their wooden structures out of it because others had done it that way. Then your masters of the Renaissance came along and made copies in plaster, of copies in marble, of copies in wood. Now here we are making copies of steel and concrete, of copies in plaster, of copies in marble, of copies in wood. Why?
That's a lot of copies.
It's like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Like a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox.
Yeah. The dean sat watching him curiously. Something puzzled him, not in the words, but in Rourke's manner of saying them. Rules, said Rourke. Here are my rules. That can be done with one substance must never be done with another. No two materials are alike. No two sites on earth are alike. No two buildings have the same purpose.
Varg is against substance abuse.
Substance abuse?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, Howard Rourke is against substance abuse, I'm saying, because they can't be made from the same substance. Because that would be substance.
Yeah.
It was a very bad joke.
Yeah, I get it now. The purpose, the site, the material determine the shape. Nothing can be reasonable or beautiful unless it's made by one central idea, and the idea sets every detail. A building is alive like a man. Its integrity is to follow its own truth. Man, this guy has a lot of fucking opinions for like a 20-year-old guy.
He sure does. You know, reminds me of someone.
I think it's funny though that like Ayn Rand was like attracted to like young men, like but in their teens to like young adulthood.
Yeah.
And she like wanted to fuck that serial killer.
Which serial killer?
There was like a guy who killed people that Ayn Rand wanted to fuck. It was like based.
Yeah, but who was it?
I don't remember. It was like some like young. It was like some like teenage boy.
So it's not like any of the famous ones.
I guess it was like it was a thing that I guess was big news at the time, but it's not like one we would today call like a famous one. I guess.
But it's not like Dennis Rader or Ed Kemper, Dahmer or anything. Well, obviously not Dahmer.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything big, but like her whole thing was that she thought that he could have like that she wished that she could have shown him another outlet or something. Like she was like really passionate about this serial killer. Like she obviously wanted to fuck him. It's one single theme and to serve its own single purpose. A man doesn't borrow pieces of his body. A building doesn't borrow hunks of its soul. Its maker gives it the soul and every wall, window, and stairway to express it. But all the proper forms of expression have been discovered long ago. Expression of what? The Parthenon did not serve the same purpose as its wooden ancestor. An airline terminal does not serve the same purpose as the Parthenon. Every form has its own meaning. Every man creates his meaning in the form and goal. Why is it so important? What others have done? Why does it become sacred by the mere fact of not being your own? Why is anyone and everyone right so long as it's not yourself? Why does the number of those others take the place of truth? Why is truth made a mere matter of arithmetic, and only of addition at that? Why is everything twisted out of all sense to fit everything else? There must be some reason. I don't know. I've never known it. I'd like to understand. For heaven's sake, said the dean. Oh, damn, I need to plug this fucking shit in.
Yeah.
Plug it up, plug it up, plug it up.
Hell yeah. I haven't seen Carrie in years.
Those teenagers that were bullying her were pretty base.
Oh yeah.
You should have bullied her more.
I think the fact that they bullied her so much is why they all fucking died.
I like that movie though. Like the fucking like they dropped the pig's blood on her. Seemed I like in the freaking like what's that? The Hot Diggity Demon did a parody of My Little Pony, and he made a reference to that with Fluttershy, where they dump blood on her, and then like Rainbow Dash is like, "That's my period, you dumb bitch! That's my period!" And then like Fluttershy goes, "Stay out of my shed! Stay out of my shed!" Because like there's like a fucking running joke where Fluttershy keeps telling everybody not to go in her shed for some reason. And then like they do, because like Fluttershy is fucking Fat Albert for some reason. Like Fluttershy is Fat Albert's voice. And there's literally a parody. There's an in the episode though where they go in the shed, Fluttershy's shed. Fluttershy literally sings a song. She goes, "I'm gonna sing a song for you, and I'm gonna teach you a thing or two."
It's where the Hot Diggity Demon used to do so much fucking My Little Pony content.
Well, I mean, like his fucking My Little Pony series was actually really funny though. MOP.mov, because it's like, it's really fucking, it's like really fucked up. And he actually made it good. Like he made something that's actually shit into something better.
I like how there's that one series that he did. What is it? Something Game Jokes for Kids or whatever. Wacky Game Jokes for Kids, I think.
I think so. I'm not sure.
But like, that series kind of sucked, to be honest.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's funny, like he did that series, and he like makes fun of all this shit and criticizes it, but then he ends up doing all the shit he made fun of.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it is funny. Have you seen his Jerry series? That one's actually good.
Yes, I've seen the Jerry series.
Like, I think the best ones are the ones with the dad, and like, yeah, the best ones are the ones with the dad.
Yeah.
The dad, I need to rewatch this again. The dad character was done really well. It kind of makes me think of like Clay Puppington.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing a song for you, and I'm gonna teach you a thing or two. Na na na, go eat brains, brains. Na na na, go eat brains, brains.
Remember when they went to, when Bill Cosby was in court, and the fucking reporters walk up to him, and they put the microphone up, and he goes, hey.
Yeah. I love Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was a good man.
Did he run a bunch of good boys?
Yeah. Under the foot of the pressure.
All waiting to take the strategy to mobilize true international under pressure. Varg and I agree that it's a right for people to have Medicare care.
Medicare care. Yeah, but who pays for it, asshole?
Single word. As a foot as a foot.
Every time, like, the government, like, provides a solution to anything, my first thought is, wow, I really wonder who's going to pay for this.
Well, and it's always inferior, too. Like, the government version of everything isn't.
Yeah.
Like, look at public defenders.
I think it's fucking retarded, though, that people don't see the bullshit that every solution that the government provides is to take your money. Like, it's like, then just fucking spend your money on useful shit.
I don't know, Corbin. I think we need to send some more speedboats to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
You know, it's an actual thing the government does, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, and we gotta have those gender studies in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's bullshit that taxes pay for shit like fucking killing Muslim children and fucking abortions and like all this other shit.
Yeah. But don't worry, Corbin, it's a feature.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine. It'll all work out. And if you don't think so, you're naive.
I just need to take advantage of the opportunities that the sociopaths give me. I just have to take all those opportunities that my slave masters give me. Then I'll be good. As long as I conform to the system, then I'll be a good person.
Sure, we'll get up.
That's right. As long as I suck my government's cock and give everything to them, everything will work out and I'll be a good person.
Then you gotta give money to Israel, too.
Yeah, give money to Israel. They're our greatest allies. And with greatest allies like this, who the hell needs enemies?
Who the hell needs enemies?
What the fuck?
Honestly, Jesse Coffey definitely needs to be a character in Sergeant Friends.
Yeah.
Because you do such a good voice in it, so you will obviously play it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can make him a duo with the Cucumber Clansman.
Yeah. We should.
Oh, and like the Cucumber Clansman should like really like him and like work with him, but he like fucking hates the Cucumber Clansman and keeps trying to get rid of him.
Yeah. My dogs are always looking at me like they're sad. Don't you look at me! Don't you look at me! Dog looked away. She understood me. Lucy! Lucy! Look at me now! Lucy! I love you. I love Lucy.
You look at it.
Look at it! You look at it! Jeffrey Dahmer like to play with dog guts, dog guts, dog guts, dog guts. Jeffrey Dahmer like to play with dog guts, dog guts. It's like I have like an hour-long intermission between every paragraph.
Oh yeah, the most unique reading of this book ever.
Yeah. See, I'd rather be original than be good.
Right. Well, look, Corbin, if people wanted to actually just listen to the book, they'd buy the fucking audiobook.
Yeah. Might as well do whatever I want. Because really, this is just an excuse for me to read the book and also make it content. The real conversation we should be having is prenatal or postnatal. That's my favorite conversation. I like how Hard Luck really wanted to have that conversation. Like, he picked, like, the most horrible conversation you could have.
Yeah.
And he was, like, really persistent about it.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking retarded. Like, I told him, look, we're not going to find common ground.
Yeah, when your choice is literally just the evil one. I don't, like...
Like, when you're like, oh, yes, kill them at any point, as long as they're still connected, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you, you fucking sociopath.
And also the thing he says about, like, convenient, like, I mean, not convenient, the thing he says about, like, oh, but what if we put a limitation on it? And it's like, well, if you're up to a full term, you already think that it's like, and it's not a fucking human, why even fucking go anywhere at all? Why even fucking make any compromise? It doesn't matter at that point. Like, it's either your way or my way. Like, you don't fucking get it. There is no fucking compromise.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. And he thinks he does. Like I said, I genuinely think out of all they go.
I just think it's like retarded that people think that this is like an actual conversation. Like whenever abortion's brought up, they're like, "Oh, I think it should be prenatal or postnatal." It's like, okay, then you're just a fucking crazy person. We should put you in a cannon and fire you to another country.
Exactly. But I think the real conversation we should be having is pre-puberty or from.
What is it?
I said, but I think the real conversation we should be having is pre-puberty, post-puberty.
Oh yeah. It's really stupid though, because it's literally just saying like we should be talking about murdering them at this point or murdering them at this point. But it's like, I mean, even saying like prenatal or postnatal, like that's fucking stupid. Like you're like, okay, so wait, what is the argument? Because like, I mean, who's on the stance of being prenatal and who's on the stance of being postnatal? Are you on the fucking stance of postnatal? Are you that much of a fucking deranged psychopath?
Right? But clearly, I think he's trying to say he's prenatal. He thinks that birth is the limit.
Like, yeah, but I don't even get the phrasing. It's like, that's the conversation we should be having. It's like, so you're willing to lean more, you're willing to lean that other way. That just means you're dead set on it being at least, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, that's why I say you can take him away from the left, but you can't take the leftist out of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, because, like, obviously, I say this as a former leftist. I used to be a leftist in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but granted, here's the thing. Even when I was a socialist, I literally never supported abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I have always, and I repeat, always been against abortion.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those unshakable principles.
I just think like this whole thing about it like being about like having empathy for like people where it's like but have empathy for other people. It's like I am having empathy. I'm having empathy for the right people.
Right. You're having empathy for the life, not just fucking feelings.
But no, like you can't have like a genuine like any leftist is gonna not have like like leftists aren't capable of having actual conversations.
Well, yeah, because they don't actually care about morals. They care about winning.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm probably going to be quiet for a minute because I'm going to be dispatching my driver.
Well, then I'll start reading again. I don't remember where I was though, so.
Expression of what? The Parthenon did not serve the same purpose as its one ancestor. Every Terminal does not serve the same purpose as the Parthenon. Every form has its own meaning. Every man creates his meaning in form and all. Why is it so important? What others have done? Why does it do that? Why is anyone and everyone right? So long as it's not yourself. Why does the number of those others take the place of truth? Why is truth made a mere matter of arithmetic and only of addition to that? Why is everything twisted out of all sense of fit everything else? Tell me that, please, mister, please. I'll give you a kiss. There must be some reason. I don't know why. I've never known it. Let's understand it, please. For heaven's sake, said the dean, sit down. That's better. Oh, that's a lot better. I like it. I'll pull your cock out. Let's give it a little zuck. Would you mind very much putting that ruler down? Thank you. Now, listen to me. Listen right here, Linda. Listen, Linda. No one has ever denied the importance of modern techniques in architecture. An architect. We must learn to adapt the beauty of the brain to the needs of the person. The voice of the brain, the voice of the people. Nothing has ever been invented by one man in architecture. The proper creative process is a slow, gradual, anonymous, collective one. In which each man collaborates with all the others and subordinates himself to the standards of the majority.
Wow, this is like really fucking like on the nose communist talk. Like this is clearly communist. But you see, said Rourke quietly, I have, let's say.
It was never subtle.
Yeah, it was never subtle. That's what I meant. But that's what I like about Ayn Rand is that it's not subtle at all. Like it's all about blunt reality. But you see, said Rourke quietly, I have, let's say, 60 years to live. 60 years? How do you know that? Most of that time will be spent working. I've chosen the work. See, why does this? He's like fucking 20 and he's got like all of his fucking world down already. What the fuck? I look quite the fool. Most of that time will be spent working. I've chosen the work I want to do. If I find no joy in it, then I'm only condemning myself to 60 years of torture. And I can find the joy only if I do my work in the best way possible to me. But the best is a matter of standards, and I set my own standards. I inherit nothing. I stand at the end of no tradition. I may perhaps stand at the beginning of one. How old are you? Asked the dean. 22, said Rourke. Quite excusable, said the dean. He seemed relieved. You'll out... Okay, so yeah, he's 22. Wait. Yeah. So, yeah, just 2 more years older than me, and he's got all this shit figured out. God damn. Quite excusable, said the dean. He seemed relieved. You'll outgrow all that, he smiled. The old standards have lived for thousands of years, and nobody has been able to improve upon them. What are you... What are your modernists, a transient mode, exhibitionists, trying to attract attention? Have you observed the course of their careers? Can you name one who has achieved any permanent distinction? Look at Henry Cameron, a great man, a leading architect 20 years ago. What is he today? Lucky if he gets once a year. A garage to remodel, a bum and a drunkard who... We won't discuss Henry Cameron. Oh? Is he a friend of yours? No, but I've seen his buildings. And you found them? I said we won't discuss Henry Cameron. Very well. You must realize that I am allowing you a great deal of, shall we say, latitude. I am not accustomed to hold a discussion with a student who behaves in such a manner. However, I am anxious to forestall, if possible, what appears to be a tragedy, the spectacle of a young man of your obvious mental gifts setting out deliberately to make a mess of his life. The dean wondered why he had promised the professor of mathematics to do all he could for this boy, merely because the professor had said this and pointed to Rourke's project, is a great man. A great man, thought the dean, or a criminal. The dean winced. He did not approve of either. He thought of what he had heard about Rourke's past. Rourke's father had been a steel puddler somewhere in Ohio and had died long ago. Swag like Ohio! The boy's entrance papers showed no record of nearest relatives. When asked about it, Rourke had said indifferently, "I don't think I have any relatives. I may have, I don't know." He had seemed astonished that he should be expected to have any interest in the matter. He had not made or sought a single friend on the campus. He had refused to join a fraternity. He had worked his way through high school and through the 3 years here at the Institute. He had worked as a common laborer in the building trades since childhood. He had done plastering, plumbing, steel work, anything he could get, going from one small town to another, working his way east to the great cities. The dean had seen him last summer on his vacation, catching rivets on a skyscraper in construction in Boston, his long body relaxed under greasy overalls, only his eyes intent, and his right arm and his right arm swinging forward once in a while expertly, without effort, to catch the flying ball of fire at the last moment when it seemed that the hot rivet would miss the bucket and strike him in the face. "Look here, Rourke," said the
My
dean.
old friend Rio's level paused, Corbin.
"Well, I gotta turn the pages."
Alright, fair.
"Look,
When it seemed,
huh?
my old friend Rio.
My old friend Rio." How the hell have you been keeping them? I like that there's just a bunch of references to random shit, like, in between all this.
Yeah, this stream truly is a cluster.
But that's what makes it good.
It's cool. Look it up.
Bad
Like
is
how
actually good.
You were doing Chris Chan, and then it devolved into Cucumber.
Yeah. I like doing it, just all the retard voices. Retards are funny.
Yeah. By the way, I was laughing basically the whole time you did that, but I was muted because I was talking to my driver.
Yeah.
So I'm just like hysterically laughing as I'm giving him his paperwork and shit.
That's funny. "Look here, Rourke," said the dean gently. "You have worked hard for your education. You had only 1 year left to go. There is something important to consider, particularly for a boy in your position. There's the practical side of an architect's career to think about. An architect is not an end in himself. He is only a small part of a great social whole." Seriously, why are they all fucking communists? "Cooperation is a key word to our modern world, and to the profession of architecture in particular. Have you thought of your potential clients?" "Yes," said Rourke. "The client," said the dean. "The client. Think of that above all. He's the one to live in the house you build. Your only purpose is to serve him. You must aspire to give the proper artistic expression to his wishes. Isn't that all one
So
can?"
what do you think of the clients?
Yeah. "The customer is always right. Isn't that all one can say on the subject? Well, I could say that I must aspire to build for my client the most comfortable, the most logical, the most beautiful house that can be built. I could say that I must try to sell him the best I have, and also teach him to know the best. I could say it, but I won't, because I don't intend to build in order to serve or help anyone. I don't intend to build in order to have clients. I intend to have clients in order to build." That's some base shit. "How do you propose to force your ideas on them?" "I don't propose to force or be forced. Those who want me will come to me." Then the dean understood what had puzzled him in Rourke's manner. "You know," he said, "you would sound much more convincing if you spoke as if you cared whether I agreed with you or not." "That's true," said Rourke. The Rourke. "That's true," said the Rourke.
That sounds like a fucking Dr. Seuss character, the Rourke.
Yeah.
We should do that.
The
Since we're
Rourke.
gonna have Daniel playing the Oil Man, we should have the Rourke be a character too.
Yeah.
That's true, said the Rourke. And then he roarked all over the place and said it's Rourke shot.
I don't care if you agree with me or not. He said it so simply that it did not sound offensive. It sounded like the statement of a fact, which he noticed puzzled for the first time. You don't care what others think, which might be understandable, but you don't care even to make them think as you do? No. But that's monstrous. That's what the hell? Monstrous not to force what you think on what? Do people talk like this?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm sure someone does.
I wonder if like that was a thing at the time that people freaking were just like that, or like, what? You don't want to force your ideas on other people? Are you even a man?
I mean, look. Hardluck's kind of like that. He's like, what? You only want to look after your family and don't want to be part of a greater community?
That's right. This is Hardluck talking.
See, it's all connected.
But no, I think Ayn Rand's right about those people, though. Like, I think that there are, like, because in Ayn Rand's books, there's those two kinds of people, and I think that it's actually a good distinction. It's sort of like Aristotle's distinction between master and slave.
Right. How some people are born with a propensity to have slave-like tendencies.
Yeah.
And that, to be clear, obviously, that's not a racial.
Yeah, well, I mean, Aristotle didn't mean a racial thing either. That was what was cool about.
I know.
That was what was cool about Greece and Rome, is that they weren't like most times in slavery, they're like, this people are made to be slaves. This people are made to be slaves. And then like in the Romans and Greece, they're like, yes, slaves.
Well, Corbin, actually, you're incorrect to say that most places had these people are made to be slaves. That's actually a fairly American thing. Like, it's mainly just America up until the 1800s that had slavery be racial. It was actually a fairly new type of slavery. And,
There was definitely racism involved in a lot of like slavery in the past, but I wouldn't say it was like the same where it's like they just enslaved people because of their race. I think that's where you're right.
Right. Well, yeah, and the thing is with black slaves, they didn't even become slaves because they're black per se. Like, it definitely evolved into that.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the start, it was really just because that's who was sold. It's because
Yeah.
they got cheap slaves from Africa who were sold to them by other blacks.
Yeah. But yeah, like
But
people.
blacks literally were not the only kind of slave. There were white slaves too.
Well, yeah, I think I'd say like most of the times like slavery is more the product. I mean, the racism is more the product of a lot of slavery than slavery is a product of racism.
Right. But here comes the slavery apologio. I honestly don't get what the fuck he meant by it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you weren't even talking about slavery.
Yeah.
Like, it had nothing to do with anything. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, here comes...
Yeah. Or he brought up JFK when I brought up the civil rights, but I wasn't even like talking about JFK.
Not yet. There's still a couple of pallets.
What the hell? What are you implying by that? Oh wait, no, he didn't even say that. He said, "I know what." He said, "I know what you're implying by that." He was like, he was like, because he thinks he knows everything.
Yeah. What a prick. Like, I don't like to throw that around, but seriously, what a douche. And, like, not in a fun way either.
I think it's funny though how he kept trying to like, like he kept trying to make kept trying to make subjectivity into like an objective thing.
Right. Well, he also kept trying to make any of my arguments Christianity. They literally work.
Yeah. I think it's stupid. Like he thinks that like any belief that human life just has value as human life is Christian somehow.
Like, I'm willing to bet he's the kind of little edgy atheist faggot who just, like, has to be like, actually, you know, just sits on Reddit.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. Like he was like that said that I like think religious people are retarded.
I would argue, like, fucking, like, obviously you don't, because we talk about religion, like, all the time.
Yeah.
But, like, I would argue the fucking edgy, wannabe fucking atheists are more fun. Like, it depends, because they're just game. But, it's like, there are religious people that piss me off, and like, oh, it's apocalypse, we just need to do nothing, we just accept it.
Yeah, they're goyams.
Oy, they.
That's what I think the problem actually is. It's not that I dislike Christians, it's that I dislike goyams.
You do realize that Goyim just means non-Jew.
I just mean like Jewish puppets. What do they call them? Goys? What do they call those?
A useful Goy.
Yeah. Well, but they have a. What's that name though? They call them the thing that the freaking from the story that they have about like the thing that they control. Golems. Golems.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, that's what I think that like that's what I think a lot of those Christians are. Is that's what they are to the Jews.
Well, like I said, like Brother Nathaniel brought up the useful Goy when he was talking about people who push the agenda that aren't Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that from within because he was raised in that fucking life.
Yeah. But that's what I like. That's why I think it's stupid when people like deny this Jewish thing when the base Jews come out of it and admit it.
Yeah.
Like the Orthodox Christian Jews are great. Like that's why. Like there just needs to be a distinction made when you're talking about a group of people. Like that's why people are so stupid about racism, because it's like people are like people just generalize. There's always exceptions.
Yeah. Well, that is, to be fair though, I do think, you know, like white nationalists make it far too much about race.
Yeah. But that's because they're trying to make like everything an exact science.
Right. But see, the problem is like they're not wrong that it's a contributor, but to act like it is the sole contributor is where I think they start to get retarded.
Yeah, because like I think it needs to be like that's what I think like is great about Ayn Rand. I think that there needs to be like a balance between like like I think the right wing needs to be more focused on what they can do with everything they have.
Right.
And that's
but
what
I think what they really need to be focused on is prenatal or postnatal, am I right?
But that's what I think Captain Hardlock's like even his problem is like he needs I mean he's read Ayn Rand and he probably made assumptions about my character just based off of shit like that, but like I think it's a good at pointing out that a lot of people don't you know, use what they have. Like he said he liked the anthem and that was about it. He said he didn't like the other stuff.
That shouldn't surprise me. The man is not going to project this. That's pretty clear.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. He needs to read more. But it's like I think the problem with people that read Ayn Rand though is they have to take like it as like, oh, but this is such an exaggeration of it that it's not true. But it's like but like the whole point is that it's an exaggeration to promote betterness. Like obviously we're never going to achieve a real person like Howard Rourke, but the point is to strive for something like that.
Right. Well, and I think, like, the thing is people think, oh, well, they're so against exaggeration when it's in, but they're okay with it when it's in the form of the negative. Like 1984.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people want to like because people want to feel like victims or feel like that they don't have to do anything. People want to make up the excuse that it's okay to work within whatever faulty system there is, or to have like this bleak. I don't know, but like people like I
And
think.
obviously, 1984 is my favorite book, so obviously I'm in favor of it. But
Yeah, but what
I
I'm
think that a lot of people.
but what I'm saying though is like darker shit appeals to people because people ultimately like being in like that pit of despair.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pit of despair. I'm gonna torture me and cut off my penis. That's funny.
Oh, there you go. Remember when the fucking cop, like, is patting down Chris and he, like, brushes up against his fake titty?
Why, hello there, gentlemen. Which one of you's gonna have your way with me first?
Do you remember that, right? When he, like, goes over Chris' chest. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Christian's a fucking crazy bastard.
Alright, Urban 13 is good to go.
I really think people should give Christian less shit though.
Yeah. Oh, be dark. Alright, Corbin, you'll be happy to know I've just got a few more pallets to load. Then I gotta wait for the guy outside to come in. It takes fucking... Because he likes to fucking milk it. He likes to milk the clock. He likes to milk the clock. Well, I like to milk my cock. Rated PG-13.
Stretch my duck with a rock.
You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Well, now get ready for Stretch Up McDuck.
That needs to definitely be in an episode now.
Yeah, next Christmas special, right?
Yeah. That'll be a while
Or
now.
just when yeah.
Stretch my duck with a rock.
You know, Corbin, you know what's funny?
Hmm?
Every single Christmas special has been just completely improved.
Huh.
Because the first one was the first episode where I just improvised it all on the spot for Sarge.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's just Sarge monologuing, like, that's the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was The Bitch Who Stole Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one was Nutcracker, and literally all of them were completely improvised.
Yeah, do you think that should be the tradition?
Maybe.
Every Christmas special is improvised?
We could do that.
Rape me, my friend. Rape me again. You're not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Rape me. Where do bad folks go when they die? They don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake of fire and fry. You don't see them again until the 4th of July. I knew an old lady who went to Duluth. She got bit by a dog with a rabbit tooth.
Stupid Steve, damn you!
Scuba Steve!
Scuba Steve, damn you!
What the hell is Scuba Steve?
Scuba Steve, I'll see if he says anything like that. Like, just start talking about how good of a person is.
Yeah.
And see if he just goes, who the hell is Scuba Steve? As someone who's actually funny.
You know he's funny because he pointed it out.
It's true. You know, you raise a good point.
And you know it's an objective fact because he said it.
It's true. Look it up.
I think he's really, like, he really is really annoyed that he couldn't convince me on, like, anything. Like, with the abortion thing, like, he was, like, so mad that I wouldn't give him anything. It's like, because giving you anything is saying that murder's okay.
Right.
When you take stupid moral positions, expect disagreement.
Right. I plotted my next murder in the bedroom, gripping on a pedestal.
You know, I'm just high on postmodernism right now. Like Tony Stark.
God, Hybrid is such a fucking specimen. Like, he's just such a unique creature.
He's a feature, not a bug.
This creature is a feature.
Wait a second, are the bugs features? Every bug's a feature.
Honestly, sounds like an Obsidian apologist.
It's a feature.
Well, because you know that, like Obsidian fanboys who, like, fanboy over, like, New Vegas and shit never admit that, like, Obsidian kind of sucks at making games because they're always, like, loaded with bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, New Vegas is so much glitchier than Fallout 3. Like, it really is. Like, it crashes so much more often.
Yeah. Fallout New Vegas, like, any console I played on, I expected to crash.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love Darren's video on it when he's like, this is my favorite loading Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. His video for Fallout New Vegas was actually really funny. And I really like that he's done, like, the best video on Rorschach I've seen.
Yeah, I agree. I never made a video just with his chat. I never did, like, a shortened version of that.
Mm-hmm. Would you look at that dog? Would you look at that?
Oh, that dog of mine.
Oh, would you look at that dog? Don't you look at me?
Don't do it.
Don't you look at me? What the hell are you looking at? What the fuck?
What?
What the hell is the dog doing? What that dog doing?
Like, obviously my favorite thing he said is, what the hell is fictional? But my favorite thing he said to me was when I'm like, we invaded you like Poland. And he's like, what?
What? What the hell?
I like Jesse Coffee.
Just like Jesse Coffee.
It's funny. It's funny that we like troll him and shit, but it's like I kind of like it.
Yeah. What?
But it's like Cucumber Plan, where he's a fucking idiot, and that's why I like him.
Yeah. See, I don't know why people, like, when they do lolcow stuff, they always, like, do it with hate for the lolcow, but it's like, I love the lolcow.
Yeah.
I just want to get the, I just want to milk the lols. That's all I want to do is milk the lols.
Yeah, like I said, lolcows, they provide me with constant joy. Why would I hate them?
Yeah, like, people, like, abuse the thing that brings them entertainment. It's like, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
We need to have you do a Jesse Coffee character on the Cucumber Clansman channel.
Yeah, we do. What the fuck? No, Mom, don't look at the computer.
His fucking hillbilly laugh.
It sounds nothing like his voice because he's got like a Jewish voice, and then his laugh is like a redneck laugh.
That is what. Like I would say, like ranking the people of the first Cucumber Clan is top dog, right?
Yeah,
But I'd say Jesse Coffee's like second place at this point.
yeah. I actually think what's his name? Who do you think's funnier, Malachi or what's his name again? The guy who's like who like whenever he sees a comment, he just like pauses his video, like he just like stops for a second. He's like,
Bob or Savage Gamer?
Savage Gamer.
Oh, Malachi's way funnier than Savage Gamer.
Yeah, I do think though that Savage Gamer is like when his reactions are funny because he just is like becomes retarded.
Yeah.
He like his brain shuts down. That's what's funny to me.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that these people can't handle like people in the comments. Like it's just like just delete the fucking comment. It's so simple.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, I have to deal with. And I just quietly ban it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't draw attention to it, like seriously, if they just ignored us, quietly went about their stream and just banned us, we would just leave them alone.
Mhm.
Because they're
Mm-hmm. Like that's probably why I'm giving up on Into the Depths, because Into the Depths just deletes them now.
Yeah, he's figured it out.
So if anything, I did help him.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, with Savage Gamer, or wait, is it Savage Gamer? Hold on, my brain like short-circuited. Hold on. Yeah, that's why it's funny when Savage Gamer gives Jesse Coffee like good advice, and like Jesse Coffee still ignores it and he keeps drawing attention to us.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how long these pauses, like these like things, it is in between me reading a paragraph.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the book is just an excuse to talk.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What the fuck is this shit? Ayn Rand. She's a Jew. I hate Jews. Coming from a Jewish person. Let's go. What's the fucking... He supports them.
Palestine?
Yeah, let's go Palestine.
What an idiot.
I am not a self-hating Jew. He said that on something. He was like defending himself. Like it was like, I'm not a self-hating Jew.
I just like that he has that really unhinged, where he's talking about his past mistakes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's talking about completely chimped out and went totally nuts on people when they like shows that he didn't like.
Yeah.
Because of like a weird deranged loyalty that he had to some other youth that didn't like them.
Yeah. I think it's funny autistic people are like that. Like they get like really loyal about really stupid things. Like Andy, to like back you up, will like back up like the dumbest shit.
Yeah, like I'll be like, wow, this is really annoying, and he'll be like, yeah, this game is shit. This is terrible.
Yeah, he goes on his like,
Andy, calm the fuck down.
he's like goes on his angry video game nerd rant for like something really minor in a game.
Yeah, like I'll just say, wow, that was annoying, and he'll just like go on this rant about how it's like the worst thing ever programmed in a game ever.
Yeah. He's like, I'd rather.
I did used to do an Andy impression. Let me try it. Ironically, this is one of the worst games I've ever made. Ironically, this is bad. This is a bad game. Just like James Walsh would say, what were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
Ironically, SpongeBob was released in 1999.
That is ironic. Dude, I feel like I'm gonna puke right now.
Why? Because of the coffee?
Ugh. Oh. I'm gonna read a couple more pages of this. Copy? Copy of a copy?
Coffee.
Oh, the coffee, probably. Might be the coffee.
Are you drinking Jesse brand coffee? Jesse coffee?
I drinking just like Jesse coffee.
I want to say that, like, only, like, maybe 10% of this entire script actually...
Yeah.
But again, that's good, Corbin, see, because now it's fair use.
Yeah. This is definitely a lot of added content.
What do you want, boy?
I shall read again.
Yeah, I'm kind of loading pallets, so you can deal with it.
Then the Dean understood what had puzzled him in Rourke's manner. You know, he said, you was so much more convincing. You was so much more convincing if you spoke as if you care whether I agree with you or not. That's true, said Rourke. I don't care whether you agree with me or not. They said it so simply that it did not sound offensive. It sounded like a statement of a fact, which she noticed puzzled for the first time. You don't care what I think. Which might be understandable. But you don't even care. You don't even make them think as you do. No, but that's monstrous. It is? Probably. I couldn't say. I'm glad this interview, said the Dean suddenly so loudly. It has relieved my conscience, I believe, as others stated loudly. It has relieved my conscience. I believe, as others stated at the meeting, that the profession of architecture is not for you. I am trying to help you, and I agree with the board. You are a man not to be encouraged. You are dangerous. To whom? asked Rourke. But the Dean rose, indicating that the interview was over. Rourke left the room. He walked slowly through the long halls, down the stairs. As you want, below. He hadn't met many men such as the Dean. He had never understood him. He knew only that there was some sort of important difference between his actions and theirs. It had ceased to disturb him long ago. But he always looked for a central theme of the buildings, and he looked for a central impulse in men. He knew the source of his actions. He could not discover theirs. He did not care. He had never learned the process of thinking about other people. But he wondered, at times, what made them such as they was. He wondered again, thinking of the Dean. He wondered a third time. There was an important secret involved somewhere in the question. He thought there was a principle which he must discover. And then he discovered the principle in the woods molesting children. But he stopped. He saw the sunlight of white afternoon, held still in the moment before it was to fade on the gray limestone of a thrilling course running along a brick wall of the assistant building. They forgot men, the Dean, and the principle behind the Dean, which they wanted to discover. He thought only of how lovely the stone looked in the fragile light, and what he could have done with that stone. What the dog doing? He thought of a broad sheet of paper, and the stone rising on the paper. There was a gray limestone, and there's a glass.
What the fuck? Damn it.
He thought only of how lovely the stone looked in the fragile light, and of what he could have done with that stone. He got totally stoned like Mario and taken to shrooms. He thought of a broad...
I mentioned that your Chris Chan is fucking spot on. I'm pretty sure I have, but still. Next time you're in a server that you're banned from, you should just French Chris Chan's voice and see if they notice.
Yeah. Or just do Jesse Coffee.
What the hell?
Get like offended by everything and just be like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
I looked up, he's a Sagawash, so he is not a good guy. He's a necrophile.
He thought of a broad sheet of paper, and he saw rising on the paper bare walls of gray limestone with long bands of glass admitting the glow of the sky into the classrooms. In the corner of the sheet stood a sharp angular signature, Howard Rourke. 2. Architecture, my friends, is a great art based on two cosmic principles, beauty and utility. In a broader sense, these are but part of the three eternal entities, truth, love, and beauty. Truth to the traditions of our art, love for our fellow men whom we are to serve. Beauty, beauty, is a compelling goddess. Beauty is a compelling goddess to all artists, be it in the shape of a lovely woman or a building. Yes, in conclusion, I should like to say to you who are about to embark upon your careers in architecture that you are now the custodians of a sacred heritage. Yes, so...
Cute conversation of shit about a sacred hair.
Yeah. You know, I am literally dead now.
Rest in peace. You're just as dead as Gona Guy.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Gona Guy. I'm sorry you guys had to find out this way. The 0 people watching right now. You know, my view count has at least been consistent.
I like how your visuals, your visuals are literally just like your fucking light.
Yeah.
Like I checked on the screen just to see if anyone was in the chat, which obviously they're not.
Yeah.
But your fucking like obnoxious light, just that's the view the whole time.
Yeah. Issei Sagawa was not a good man. What the fuck is Issei Sagawa?
I looked him up, and he's a necrophile. And you came in here, and you started by saying, how fellow clopper. What the hell is a clopper?
What the hell? You like to molest ponies? What the fuck? You like to molest ponies? What the fuck?
How can you just advocate bestiality like that, you sick bastard?
Defending a self-admitted murderer and baby rapist? What the fuck? This is like so non-context. Like, this is the most fucking unhinged shit. Anybody that watches this is gonna be like, what the fuck is this? This whole thing has been extremely unhinged. Whom we are to serve, beauty, beauty, is a compelling goddess to all artists, be it in the shape of a lovely woman with big boobies and a big booty, or a building. Yes, in conclusion, I should like to say to you who are about to embark upon your careers in architecture, that you are now the custodians of a sacred heritage, the cucumber heritage. Yes. So go forth into the world armed with the three eternal entities, the vampire cucumber, the pickle, and the Nazi cucumber. armed with the courage and the vision of the Nazi combo, loyal to the standards with his great.
Don't forget Lightning McQueen.
Oh yes, and then don't forget the Lightning McQueen cucumbo.
There's Lightning McQueen, there's Cartman, McComics bad.
Cartman,
He's bad.
Cartman, we replaced him with Grumpy Bear.
Yeah, we replaced him with Grumpy Bell. Cartman, he go Alcatraz.
Yeah, I hope that this. I'm glad the two viewers I had are now gone. They've gone to Alcatraz. I'm glad.
Their parents will sell all their stuff.
Their parents will now sell all their stuff. They'll banned. This is what happens when you take a hiatus. Taking a hiatus is fucking illegal, Zando.
This stream entertains literally no one but us.
Yeah, but I love it. Like anybody that watches, if people can't understand that this is art, then they can go fuck themselves.
Right. I just think it's really funny too to look at the Discord call when I just see Jeffrey Dahmer and Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Two great people. You who are to embark Yes. So go forth into the world armed with the three eternal entities, armed with courage and vision, loyal to the standards this great school has represented for many years. May you all serve faithfully, neither as slaves to the past, nor as those parvenists, what the fuck? Parvenists, who preach originality for its own sake, which attitude is only ignorant vanity. May you all have many rich active years before you, and leave as you depart from this world your mark on the sands of time. Guy Flancone ended with a flourish, raising his right arm in a sweeping salute, informal but with the air that gay swaggering. Wow, that is one gray saggling little faggot.
Do you remember when Ethan misread thigh slapping as thick sapling?
What?
It's from his Shin-chan. He like looks at the box and he's like, look at Mr. Elephant's thick sapling instead of thigh slapping.
Guy Flancone ended with a flourish, raising his right arm in a Nazi salute, informal but with an air, that gay swaggering air, which was pretty fucking gay. Guy Flancone could always permit himself. The huge hall before him came to life in applause and approval.
Did somebody say hall? Did he do a daily halls?
Daily halls?
Yeah, weekly halls? Monthly halls?
Cartman, you are banned from this server. A sea of faces, young, perspiring, and ego, and been raised solemnly for 45 minutes to the platform where Guy Flancone had held forth as the speaker at the commencement exercises of the Stetson Institute of Technology. Guy Flancone, who had brought his own Porsche from New York for the occasion, had brought Guy Flancone of illustrious form of Flancone and Hale, Vice President of the Architects Guild of America, member of the American Academy of Arts and Letters, a member of the National Fine Arts Commission, Secretary of the Arts and Crafts League of New York, Chairman of the Society for Architectural Enlightenment of the USA. Holy fucking shit, what the fuck? Guy Flancone, Knight of the Legion of Honor of France, decorated by the governments of Great Britain, Belgium, Monaco. I'm getting like a sensory overload. I think my fucking head's gonna explode. Guy Flancone, Stanton's greatest alumnus among us, who had designed the famous Frank National Bank, I bet it's run by Jews, building of New York City, on the top of which 25 floors above the pavement, They're born in a miniature replica of the Hadrian Mausoleum. A wind-blown torch made of glass.
Of the Hadrian Mausoleum, a wind-blown torch made of glass, and the best General Electric bulbs. Guy Franco descended from the platform, fully conscious of his timing and movements. It was of medium height and not so heavy. With just an unfortunate tendency to stoutness. Nobody knew would give him a real age which was 51. His face bore not a wrinkle nor a single straight line. It was an awful composition.
Huh?
I fucking dropped the thing of sauce and it spilled all over me on the floor. And then Theron looked over at me and said, "Did it spill?" Spill bad, dude. It all spills, dude. But yeah, that's a bang. I just got a fucking mess to clean up that.
He wished as he descended the steps that this were a co-educational school. The hall before him, he thought, was a splendid specimen of architecture, made a bit stuffy today by the crowd and by the neglected problem of ventilation. But it boasted green marble dados, Corinthian columns of cast iron plated gold, and garlands of gilded fruit on the walls. The pineapples particularly thought what the fuck? The pineapples particularly thought Guy Franco had stood the test of years very well. It is thought Guy Franco touching it was I who built this annex and this very hall 20 years ago, and here I am. The hall was packed with bodies, and with the bodies hit the floor, and faces so tightly that one could not distinguish at a glance which faces belonged to which bodies. It was like a soft shivering aspic made of mixed arms, shoulders, chests, and stomachs. One of the heads, pale, dark-haired, and beautiful, belonged to Peter Keating. He sat well in front, trying to keep his eyes on the platform, because he knew that many people were looking at him, and would look at him later. He did not glance back, but the consciousness of those centered glances never left him. His eyes were dark, alert, intelligent. His mouth, a small, upturned crescent, faultlessly traced, was gentle and dwindless. He looked like a faggot, and warm with the faint promise of a smile.
I'm pretty sure Ayn Rand wrote that exactly. I mean, I've been sprinkling and shit like that the whole time, so.
I can't believe Ayn Rand wrote that.
I know. What the hell? What the hell?
What the hell? Why would Ayn Rand write faggot in this? What the fuck? This makes me want to cut my dick off.
Did it spill? Yeah, but yeah, was he slow?
You'll never guess who controls the media. It's me.
Good as new.
From the window to the wall.
Your lack of reaction there. I just bonked you in the head with a pizza, and you just wait like 5 seconds and then look over. I closed my eyes and brain for impact. What? You see, you know, come in, you just let me hit you? Yeah, because I knew you wouldn't hit me hard, Johnny. See, that's base.
I'm going to the bathroom, so I'm gonna
What the
leave you
hell?
there.
Is this some kind of turtle person?
What the fuck? Is that a turtle person? What the fuck?
Did you need me to entertain the stream, Corbin?
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I just heard some kind of demon walk out of the bathroom, though.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure I just heard some kind of demon walk out of my bathroom, though.
Oh, yeah?
It was like, I heard a noise at the end of the hallway, like there was something down there.
That's freaky. You're home alone, yes?
Yeah.
That's scary, dude.
But my mom's gonna be here at like 6. No, she's not gonna be here at 6. She's leaving at 6. So she's not gonna be here for a while.
So, you ever seen that guy Boisberg? Waware, as it's pronounced, and he has that, like, shadow creature thing?
I don't know.
I'll show you later. That's what you're making me think of. Like, you just see that standing. It would be fucking horrible.
Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
I'm gonna order within an hour. Gonna come down to pork chop surprise. I'm really good at entertaining the stream, Mark. Not that there's fucking anyone here, so it doesn't really matter. But one time there was when I worked on a newspaper route, there was this fucking like little area. There was this weird little gated community, and there was this fucking house, well, several houses in it. They were just like filled with mannequins, and like all the other houses were fucking empty, and there was like one house there that had that newspaper that we delivered. Never saw anyone there. It was fucking weird. So that's the end of that chapter. Be sure I told that story on Tales from the Drive-Thru when I did Paper Out special. I think I said something about that. Let's see.
You won't believe what happened to me in there.
You get raped by a demon?
Huh?
I think you get raped by a demon? Or maybe you just creeped at night.
Kicking it with TW! Kicking it with TW! Kicking it with TW! Kicking it with TW!
By the way, Corbin, I just told a fucking story of one paper up. And that's what I decided to do to entertain all of the 0 viewers watching.
Yeah. This is such a freaking... This is an abortion of a stream. But it's my abortion, and I love it. It's a feature, not a bug.
Corbin, wouldn't it be funny to do a stream that's just like 10 hours, just saying kicking it with TW over and over again?
Yeah, kicking it with TW, 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 kicking it with TW.
And then just like record that and just put it on loop and have it replay over and over again on the stream?
Yeah.
She's so fat like a lead whale. Shoot that poon with the harpoon.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. JK. I knew all along while she sucking on my dome. Angela, would you believe that teachers thought I had ADHD in school?
No. I don't believe ADHD exists.
Yeah, I think it's just like personality types.
Yeah. Granted, if if there ever was evidence for ADHD, this stream is. Well, I was diagnosed with ADHD as well.
I think I definitely have like an attention disorder of some kind though. As in like or at least I have like a tendency. Fortnite. I got this feeling, yeah, like I'm in the like the magic in my bones. My patience is waning, is this entertaining?
Yeah, I saw your game a little bit. That's why I started singing and then screamed bones as loud as I could, and it made it echo throughout the whole warehouse.
I got this feeling.
Like no chill, I just fucking scream it.
There's magic in my bones.
I'm laughing on the outside, crying on the inside, because I'm so in love.
Give me some time to think. I'm in the bathroom looking at me. Face in the mirror is all I need. That takes my life like 1,000 billion miles. I was never dead, but really alive. Okay, that's hard enough.
I'm renaming this like the greatest stream you'll ever watch or something. This is already the stream I'm most proud of. I just love how nuts this whole stream is.
Yeah.
This is the most schizo thing I've ever posted.
If I was like ever needed proof that Rapid Waffles is a straight up psycho, this is it.
That should probably be what I call it.
Baguette.
I should probably call this Rapid Waffles as a straight up psycho.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that when I brought that up, he was like, he got like all upset because he was like, "Are you trying to start something?"
I know. I thought it was a funny comment. Like, why the fuck would he think you were starting to start shit? And you're like, yeah, it was. By the way, I used to just loudly scream shit at work time when everybody was here like that.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, Darren? What? When I used to scream like that all the time during the actual story? Yeah, I think I did. Like, I'd be like, Super Mario in real life. I don't want to slap you. Anybody says to slap you. Of course not, but Alan fucking hated it. Remember when you would do lit? Turn on the light bulb? Yeah, that's why I never felt bad about screaming.
You know what? Since this is taking a long time, I guess I should switch to Varg Vikernes.
Yeah.
Get down with the Vicness.
Come on, get down with the Vikernes. Come on, get down with the Vikernes.
You know what? I will read this thing at the beginning since this is a short book anyway. Shadows amongst the ruins. The European deities are treated very unfairly by the Christians who write or wrote about our mythology and religion. Sometimes because of ill intent, but most often because the Christians just don't understand them. That they are what they represent or even what their purpose is. They call Freya, our goddess of love and youthful health, a whore, because they don't understand that she is not having many lovers. She is just a personification of the role of the wife. To call her a whore is no less stupid than it would be to call a wife a whore. Yes, wives sleep with many different men, their husbands, but each wife only sleeps with their own husband, so they are not whores. The probably worst off in this context is still not Freya, but the poor Loki, whom the Christians identified as the devil of Scandinavian mythology. Naturally, these Christians were and still are unable to understand that other religions are in fact other religions, and not just poor and delusional copies of their own magnificent Judeo-Christian cult. There is no devil in European polytheism, and why would we even need one? Whenever a Christian writes about our European polytheism, we see this Loki becomes the devil, and his offspring different demons. Hell becomes a place for eternal punishment and damnation for sins committed in life. Asgaror becomes the heavenly paradise. Valhall. Damn it. Now I gotta unplug this phone and plug it into the other phone. And then I gotta plug it in my ass. Where the fuck even was I? Ah, whatever, fuck it.
Ass! Fuck me in the ass!
Whenever
You
Chris...
sound like your reading voice right now sounds like a combination of Nimoy and...
Does it?
Kinda.
Whenever a Christian writes about European polytheism, we see this. Loki becomes the devil and his offspring...
Goddamn.
Is it a goddamn? The light elves become the angels, although I can add that angels, Greek messenger, are actually also a pre-Christian thing. They were the messengers of the gods. The dark elves become the little imps. Balder becomes Jesus Christ, and so forth. The Christians...
No, John, you are the demons.
The Christians, blinded by their Bible studies and other filters, become completely unable to see or understand any aspect of European polytheism. As a European polytheist, I know that Loki is the anthropomorphized lightning of the sky. Modern Scandinavian Loki, Norse Loki, Proto-Nordic Lucan, Indo-European Luic. His name derives from the Pi root Luke, which means simply lightning. When our mythology talks about how he cuts the hair of the goddess Sif, and because of that is chased by Por, a Christian will think he is a bad man, but I know that he is the god of fire. The fire being handed to man from the gods via the lightning, used in the agricultural technique of slash and burn.
You kind of remind me of like Homer's voice when he's making fun of Marge. He's like, "You live in a little imaginary land filled with magical leprechauns with funny little hats."
Where they burned down the crops to fertilize the soil. After he did that, Sif, the goddess of the crops, grew even more.
Palpatine. Like when you said soil, you're like, it's soil.
Soil. Do it. Do it. Oh, my throat. Oh, my God. For some reason, this doesn't feel good on my throat. Maybe drinking this coffee will make it better.
Yeah. Vocal fry is bad for your throat, Corbin. That is true.
Ugh.
You should be good after that, car.
Ah.
Good.
Ah! Ah!
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh, my God!
Rape me. Rape me again.
Okay, but that's the third time this week.
Where the hell was I? What the hell are Jewish noises? After he did that, Sif, the goddess of the crops, grew even more beautiful.
Yeah, there you go, see? You farted. No, I did not. It's fucking rendering plants or some shit, dude. Ugh.
And golden hair. In other words, crops. This was not surprisingly given to her by the dwarves, dark elves. The powers in the soil. When we know that Loki is lightning and Thor, the god of thunder, we also understand.
I know, I saw this shit.
Why am I having so much fun reading this shit?
Reading like serious books and like with philosophical edges and stuff, but like we're just doing like retarded shit the entire stream.
Yeah. I think I need to do more streams like this.
Yes, you do.
This is an underrated stream coming from somebody who's actually funny.
Exactly. It's actually pretty funny. Trust me on that. Look it up. Cucumber Bible.
The cucumber bubble.
Turn the lights on there. How do I turn them off? Pull that back.
I need to work on a. I want to work on a British voice more though. I want to do something with that.
Okay.
Surprisingly,
I know. I missed it.
given to her by the dwarves, the dark elves, the powers in the soil. When we know that Loki is the lightning and Thor the god of thunder, we also understood why he always chases Loki. If you ever see lightning in the sky, you can be short as shit after you hear the thunder. So the thunder chases the lightning.
You sound like one of those fucking detectives in like a fucking Victorian London drama. Just wait, obviously. After that third car, you should be good.
In my Eastbrook, stanzas 17 and 18, we learn that the three gods gave life to some pieces of wood. Naturally, this has been interpreted by the Christians as being the creation myth of Scandinavia. But it is no such thing. The stanzas talk about how the gods...
Varg with this voice.
What?
It's funny to imagine Varg with this voice.
Yeah. I.e. actors impersonating the gods. Symbolically, revive the men and women who play your role of your winter spirits.
You could impersonate Hercules.
In the yearly Ragnarok, I pull out my cock on the dock. I do yours on New Year's Eve. Darling is symbolic for the winter spirit actors known to use as Fenrir.
It's dogs and body around the world.
Yeah. Is dressed in mostly wolf skins. And they are defeated when the gods, also just actors impersonating the gods, rip the animal skins off and then trample on the skins. How do you like them apples? Described in their mythology as the god Vidar placing his boot into the mouth of the Fenrir, wolf and ripping him apart. After this, the winter spirit actors pretend they are dead
Next time,
and are carried by the gods to the sacrificial tree
we'll just make sure that they actually
where their human clothes hang. There, they are given warm beverage and food, and they put back on their clothes, their life force, by Odin, and under it, they are symbolically brought back to life. The Ragnarok is an annual event that we still celebrate every single year. And we'll even do it in a very similar fashion
We light bonfires and do our best to make as much noise as we can. This was done to scare off the winter spirits so that summer could return. We're lighting bonfires and torches by setting fire to wheels and let them roll down hills with sparks flying everywhere, and it looks cool as shit, and so forth.
I don't know why that made me think of Max Mofo.
Today we also use fireworks. No shit. The deities are filmed, but they return every year. What the fuck's up with that? Like they have always done. So this is no big deal.
What's going on with that? That's something, isn't it?
That is what the Christians fail to understand. Rebirth, reincarnation. Which, by the way, is funny considering how their savior himself was supposed to have been returned from the dead and all that. There is no creation myth in Scandinavia. The Christian Scandinavians really... really? The Christian Scandinavians really wanted there to be one, because they had this perception that every advanced religion wants to have a creation myth. And they, after all, wanted their forebears to be advanced, so they desperately twisted and turned everything, and thus found their creation myth in Balusba. But like I said, it's not a creation myth, and there is no creation myth in the European religion, because the European worldview is not linear. Gosh darn it, this is messing up my voice too much, I can't even do it.
It's funny.
Ugh.
You do a voice too long and it does actually grate on you.
Yeah.
That's why doing Sarge plays Fallout is so difficult.
Ugh, it's like the worst idea for reading a book. Especially when I'm drinking like coffee like a jackass and smoking like I'm fucking myself so hard. Well, I guess I'll start reading normally.
I despise every second I'm with you.
But I run away, so what the fuck is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but rape them. I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside is constantly hating. I'm sorry, I just throw you away.
Such a good start.
Man, the more my throat's like so fucked up, my voice acting's getting worse, my singing's getting worse.
So the stream is getting better, you're saying?
Yeah, more fuck ups equals more good.
Worse or better?
I
love how
freaking
you fucking pulled that with your fucking channel or your Discord description. When you said that shit about the Aristotle quote, and then you added in that Ethan Klein quote, and then they're like, you made it worse, and you're like, worse or better?
yeah. I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite into my vein. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember why I came.
Trying to do a Joe Swanson scream.
Hey, Peter! Hey, Peter! Hey, Peter, put your dick away. Please, Peter, please.
I'm not having sex with you right now, Peter.
Please, don't take advantage of me. Peter, please, please, don't take advantage of me, Peter. Joe, what are you doing?
Yeah. And what's up, Doc? Don't molest me. Friggin' Robert Crumb wants to fuck Bugs Bunny. Because remember, like, Robert Crumb talked about how, like, being a kid, he was attracted.
What comes on the shroom and swish milk? What comes on the shroom and swish milk?
The Shroom and Squishmallow? The Squishy Squash?
There's no onion or anything like that, right?
Maybe I'll do cucumber voice. That's easier.
Okay.
The deities are killed, but they return every year, like they have always done, so this is no big deal.
I'll do one of those in a medium cup.
That is what the Christians fail to understand. Rebirth, reincarnation, which by the way is funny, considering how their Savior
Dr. Pepper.
himself was supposed to have returned for the
Can I
dead.
also get an order of the cheesy tots?
There is no creation myth in Scandinavia.
Let's do 4.
There is no creation myth in Scandinavia. The Christian Scandinavians really wanted there to be one, because they had this perception that every race will have a creation myth. And they, after all, wanted their forebears to be advanced, so they desperately twisted and turned everything, and thus found a creation myth in Baluspa. But like I said, it's not a creation myth, and there is no creation myth in the European religion, because the European world views it not linear, with a beginning and an end. It is instead circular, with no beginning and no end. Time, space, life, and so forth are all eternal. Even to non-Christian modern men, this is hard to grasp, because we have been deluded by the Big Bang nonsense, which is basically just the science religion's attempt to justify the Judeo-Christian creation myth. See, what the hell is he talking about here? This is where his theory gets really weird.
Yeah.
Like he's saying like a like
You think that the Big Bang Theory is meant to perpetuate Judeo-Christian creation myth? That's weird.
yeah, he thinks the Big Bang Theory is pro-Christian.
What a strange opinion.
I love these kinds of people though. These people's theories are the best.
Oh, yeah.
When I arrogantly, as some have claimed, said in the foreword to my book Sorcery and Religion in Ancient Scandinavia, that there are no good books, at least not in English, German, or Scandinavian, out there about our mythology and religion, to some degree save the Golden Bough, by the anthropologist Sir James Frazer, this is what I mean. Just about everything we know about our mythology. I'm trying to get my voice.
This stream is art.
This is more art than any of the shit that people are hanging up now.
Yeah.
By the anthropologist Sir James Frazer, this is what I meant. Just about everything we know about our mythology from these books is seen through the Judeo-Christian filters and interpreted in a Judeo-Christian way. It is twisted and distorted and is unrecognizable. The only alternative we have had to this terrible perspective is the equally terrible feminist perspective, which is no less Judeo-Christian and no less ignorant, and their sole purpose is, it seems, is to find evidence of woman power in our European polytheism. The poor Freya and other goddesses too becomes misused again and turns into the mother goddesses of some horribly absurd matriarchal society with no roots in real matriarchies whatsoever, ruled by women. We are at a loss here. The books we read about our own culture fill us with lies and misconceptions. They distort the facts and turn our European polytheism into some sort of Christian white religion for nihilists, feminists, and other misread individuals. I guess this is pretty based.
Yeah, this is pretty nice.
We see the ancient flower meadow in front of us, but when we run happily into it with open arms, we trip and fall into a weakening bog. Another weakening bog created by the enemy, often by help of their many deluded strawmen. So do not trust the books you read about our mythology. Do not trust what they say about our pre-Christian Europe. Do not trust anything they say. Most importantly, do not build your character and mind, your belief system, and your rights on what these Judeo-Christians say about our mythology. In this book, I will show you the true face of our forebears and their roots, the ancient bear cult of Europe. I often hail Odin, and I do not because he is the true god, a European Jehovah or anything like that, but because he is the god of the mind, of inspiration, of fury, and our spirit. He is the force that makes me write these posts. So again, Hilar Wodenar. Hilar Wodenar. The world of the...
It sounds like a fucking snarf shit.
Snar. The world of the Ettins in the Scandinavia called Jotunheimer, Jotun. English Ettin derives from Proto-Germanic Etunus, and this word means the hungry, the gluttonous, and big eater. Heimel means simply world, so this is the world of the gluttonous powers, the big eaters, but also of the uncontrollable forces of nature like the power of growth in the wilderness, erupting volcanoes and the ice-edged asteroids, threatening to change life on Earth. The peasant cultivates his land, but must fight the Ettins constantly, or else nature takes back what has been cultivated by him. Wild herbs
And eventually trees will start to grow in what used to be a field. The forest will prevail over the field as, well, when unless the peasants works hard to prevent this. The Etten is not a name for a different race or anything like that. It is the power of a certain type. Wild and sometimes wonderful, untamable, and uncontrollable. And this power can be found in nature, but is also in us. The opposite of the Etten power. Puppy power! When it operates in us is what we call moderation or temperance. So the European polytheistic is a stoic, which moderation and temperance are supreme ideals against the wild and untamable Etten power. He knows that he must not allow the Etten power to prevail. He knows that he must work hard to keep the Etten power at bay, and he knows that he is a god, or a gaudos, and not an Etten. Yes, this is a struggle between the gods and the goddesses in us, and its powers are trying to force their way into the land of the gods and destroy them. There is no malice in what they do, no evil intent, just nature. Nature isn't supposed to be like. Everything is nature. It's a feature, not a bug.
Ugh.
Bugs are just nature's features.
Yeah.
We can banish our duties, but let nature prevail. But we can also preserve, cultivate, and strengthen the power of the mighty gods. So amongst other things, but still most importantly, temperance and moderation. Eat, but don't eat too much. Drink, but don't drink too much. Sleep, but don't sleep too much. Have sex, but don't have sex too much. Poop, don't have too much poop.
Too much.
You can come a little bit. Don't be afraid. Come on, show a little cum. Don't be afraid. Come a little bit. It's okay.
Let's get retarded in here.
The deities are real, and us the powers of love and beauty, of harmony and splendor, but if they are defeated and replaced by the Etten powers, puppy power, we become Ettins ourselves. Greedy, gluttonous, and obese, drunken, ignorant, lazy. What'd you say to me, you son of a bitch? Some of our mysterious sorcerous powers. Many, the moon, and Odin, the mind, the sorcerers are good examples. The latter travels to the realm of the dead, learns the secrets of the past as he falls down and is reborn again. He travels in the mind of spirit. He thinks and reasons, contemplates, and grows stronger and wiser for each reincarnation. He too can be strengthened in us, and again mainly by temperance and moderation. Like I said before, you're gonna eat a little bit, you're gonna come a little bit, don't be afraid, come on.
Anybody that watches this is going to be truly enlightened.
With all these fucking retarded voices and shit, like it's funny because you're reading books that you actually like and like respect the people who wrote them, but you're reading it in like retarded voices.
Yeah. I don't. It would be funny. I don't think this is the way they intended them to be read.
You're right. I don't know. I think this is exactly how Varg intended it to be read.
I want to do more of the British voice when my throat feels better.
Yeah.
I like that voice. I want to see if I can develop that.
Yeah, you should. I'm almost done, by the way.
What the fuck are you talking about? I was standing here, pulling out my cock, and the fucking bitch, she fucking grabs it.
And then I got my finger stuck in my thumb.
I smelled them after. They didn't smell too good, let me tell you about that one. My idea. I got my cock stuck in the family goat again. I'm really in a blunder this time. This is almost like the time I impregnated my mother.
You think that's bad? Remember the time?
Remember the time I slipped in mud, impregnated a pig? I looked quite the fool that night, let me tell you.
That's for true.
That's for true. My friend was telling me his son's now a girl. What the fuck is this world coming to, I tell you? And then I sucked my son's penis.
Did it taste like goat afterward?
I was like, what the fuck? I know a penis that tastes like goat. I've been around the block. You been fucking the goat, you sick monkey. You sick bastard. You been fucking the family goat. I ought to chain you the fuck up. I catch you anywhere near the family goat again. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but it ain't gonna be pretty, mister. That's for true. I was doing a little fellatio the other night on another man. It was going pretty smoothly. But still, he stuck a candle up my ass. He lit the end of it, and now my ass is full of candle wax. What the fuck is that about, let me tell you? If I had $1 for every time I got caught having sex with a dog, I don't think I'd like to tell you how many dollars I'd have. think this is funny, don't you, you little shit?
I can't handle how awesome this is.
Right.
I am telling you, mister, it is sounding very strange to me. This strange story you're telling me about fucking 12 dogs. This seems very foreign to me. We only fuck cows where I am from, mister. I am telling you.
I don't know. I think you fuck goats too, you backward chode.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're fucking my goat right now.
Never mind that.
Oh, this goat, it floats my boat. I am telling you right now, mister. I am rubbing shit on my cock for lubrication. What the fuck kind of sick bastard is this? I thought I'd see some fucking sick shit in my day. What kind of backwards degenerate culture did this guy come from? What the fuck? Please, I would like to tell you about my culture. Would you like to listen to me? Please listen to me about my culture. It's a good culture, please. No! You're a sick little bastard! Get the fuck out of my house! You're fucking a rat! I never see somebody fuck a rat! Jesus Christ! Holy shit, you're a sick bastard! What the fuck? This is what my people do. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, God, with my own mother, with the same cock he's got covered in feces. What the fuck? My idea.
Come on, Kiki. Kiki, come on.
I guess since you're home now, I'll end the stream. This has definitely been a stream.